everybody. Hope you're doing excellent today. I'm taking the time to answer some questions that have come my way. I hope you're excited. Okay, let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not an expert. I'm just here to help. I'm just here to give you the advice that I think is best. If you feel as if you need more clarification or you need additional counsel, please ensure that you prayerfully seek for the counsel that you need. The most important thing is that you get the help and the answers that you need so that you can take the right steps and make the right decisions in your life, okay? So I'm going to answer a few questions, and I'm going to do this from time to time. So feel free to send in some questions. Guys, there are so many questions that come in, so you have to be patient. Don't send a question in and expect that the following day your question will be answered. No, I'm only one person and I'm doing the best that I can, okay? Thank you for your understanding. The first question that came in, the person said, I'm going to summarize these questions, okay? Because some people send me epistles and I don't have time to read all that. So I'll just summarize what the question is and then answer the question, okay? So the first question is this. This person says she's already in a relationship with someone. She's planning her life with this person. They're heading towards marriage. Everything is in place. But another man has approached her and told her that God said she is his wife. Wow, that's a serious one. But I think that is a very simple one also, because if you are so sure about this person that you're in a relationship with, you are already heading towards marriage, everything is in place, all is well, then don't let anyone distract you, okay? God is not an author of confusion. If you are not sure about the person you're in a relationship with, then you need to go to seek God's face. You need to ask God to show you whether or not you are in the right place, you are with the right person, or not. But if you believe in your heart of hearts that you are with the right person, then don't let anyone distract you. You can let this man know politely and respectfully, please. Don't be rude, don't be mean. Let him know that you are already in a relationship and apologize to him, and leave him, let him go. And it may be true that he felt that God was speaking to him that you are his wife, but don't make him feel bad about it. Let him go back to God and see God's face, and I know that God will direct his steps to someone else who is fit for his own destiny. Okay, and if you feel as if you are a bit confused, you don't really know what to do, please again seek godly counsel. But if you are 100% at peace with this person and you know that God is for that relationship, then don't get distracted. Okay, this is why it's so important. I love to tell people, particularly singles, when it comes to making decisions concerning who to get married to, make sure that you have a sound, solid relationship with God. It is so key. Because when you have that sound and solid relationship with God, he's able to direct. You are able to hear him when he's directing your steps. Okay, you are able to hear him. You're not waiting for anyone to validate another person for you. You're not waiting for anyone to validate your relationship. You're not waiting for anyone to speak to God on your behalf. You're able to do it by yourself, and you're able to hear him clearly. Okay, so that's just a side note to ensure that you build a very strong relationship with God. But to answer that question, if you are sure about this person, then forge ahead, go ahead. If you are at peace, if you have the peace of the Lord in your heart, go ahead with this person and don't be distracted. So that's my answer to that question. The second question is this. This person says she's in a relationship with somebody. She says, I'm in a relationship with somebody. The man that I'm in a relationship with is a waster. He has a job, he makes good money, but he's always broke. He always says he doesn't have money, and I don't know how I can handle this, because when we get married, I know that it will be a big issue for us. Very good question, and I'm glad that you have observed that, you haven't overlooked it, and you want to get help. It's a disaster to be a waster, particularly in marriage, because obviously we need funds, we need resources to build a home and maintain a home. And I found that it's not necessarily that people need more money. What we need is wisdom on how to manage the resources and the money that we have. There are many people who are working, they have so much money, but they are broke because they are wasters. They are squandering the money. They are not managing the funds that God has given to them appropriately. So since you have noticed that in this man that you're dating, I would advise that you sit down with him and talk to him about it. Let him know that the way he's handling money is not the best. Let him know that he needs to be prudent with the funds that God has given to him. And hopefully you are a good manager of money, because it would be a disaster to have two people, husband and wife, in a marriage and they both waste money. That is a recipe for disaster. So hopefully you know how to manage money well. And if you do, help him. Give him some tips. There are so many resources online that help you budget and invest and save your funds and things like that. So look them up for him, give them to him, assist him, help him, make him become accountable to you. Get some maybe professional help for him, get some counseling for him. Hopefully he's reasonable and he's willing to get the help that he needs so that he doesn't waste the funds. But if that's the case, to answer your question, just sit down with him and talk to him about it, and then figure out how you can help him. Understand why he's always broke. Is it that he's always spending his money to buy things that he doesn't need? Is he the kind of person that buys everything on impulse? Is he the kind of person that doesn't know how to say no to people? Someone comes to you, they have this challenge, you want to help them, so you start giving all the money. Be helpful, be a giver, be nice, but everything has to be with wisdom, because at the end of the day, the Bible says that wisdom is a defense. It is meant to defend us. So you can't give everything out, spend everything, and then in the day that you need it, the money is not there to defend you. So it's unwise to just keep spending. Show him what it means to be prudent, talk to him about it, pray for him, ask the Holy Spirit to help him, get him the resources that would help him, get some counseling, okay? So if you feel as if he's not changing, he doesn't seem to understand, he's still always wasting his money, please get counseling that you need. I wouldn't advise you to just hop into marriage with such a person, particularly when the person is not willing to work on that habit, because it's not a good habit, it's not a good trait for a marriage that will last. I hope you found that a bit helpful. So this person says, what is your thought on long distance relationship? I've been in a long distance relationship with a lady for a while. What do you think about it? Do you think that it can last? Do you think that it can work? Do you think that it can lead to marriage? Okay, long distance relationships. Honestly, I'm actually for long distance relationships to some degree, because I had a long distance relationship. My husband and I courted for 4 years. 2 years were in the same, we never even, with the whole time we're courting, funny enough, we were never in the same vicinity. We're always hours apart from each other. And then the final 2 years of our courtship were continents apart, because he moved back to Nigeria when he was done with school. And since I was living in the United States, I stayed there until it was time for us to get married. So I am, and that was for 2 years. So I am so for long distance relationships, depending on the people that are in the long distance relationship. Some people cannot handle it, and some actually can. So if you're in a long distance relationship, first of all, I think that you need to understand why. First of all, why are you in the long distance relationship? And then what is the plan? Okay, a long distance relationship no relationship should be for eternity, but a long distance relationship where you're not seeing each other often should not be for eternity, definitely should not be for eternity. There should be a timeline. What is the plan concerning this long distance relationship? How much time are we giving ourselves? And I'm hoping that you're able to see each other often during that time, because sometimes you can have such great chemistry with a person over the phone, online, whatever it is, and then when both of you come face to face, there is zero chemistry. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you've been there before, but there is zero chemistry. It's awkward. You don't even know what to say to each other, but on the phone, you can talk for hours. So I would always advise that you find time to spend with each other somehow. Try to visit each other as much as possible. I know it may not be so convenient, but as much as possible, try to visit each other. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say you should start a long distance relationship with a person and immediately get married at the end of it. No, I think you have to still have time where you're together, you understand the person, you know the person, you see each other face to face. You get to see the person, how they react in different situations and things like that before you get married. I hope that makes sense. So long distance relationships, I don't think is bad. I just think that it is important to define why you're in the long distance relationship and how long this long distance relationship is going to be for. There should be an end. You should be able to see an end to it, not that whatever happens, let's see how it goes. I don't think you should have a long distance relationship where you say, let's see how it goes, so that nobody's wasting your time. And you have to trust also. A lot of trust is required for a long distance relationship, because you're not seeing the person. So you have to trust that their yes is yes and their no is no. That wherever they say they are is where they say they are. That they are not, that they are remaining faithful to you at the end of the day. So it requires a lot more. I think long distance relationships it's quite draining emotionally. I think it's quite draining emotionally, but I don't think it's something that's not doable. Sometimes it has to happen. Like I said, there should be like a definition to it. And of course, seek counsel if You need it. Somebody asks, what is your take on online dating? Is it okay to start a relationship with somebody online, to meet somebody online and begin dating from there? Personally, I'm not really for online dating. Not that it doesn't work, because I know there are people that have started online dating and they're married now and the marriage is fantastic and all that. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying personally, I'm not really for it. I think that when it comes to online dating, you have a lot more work to do. Not that you don't have work to do if you are dating somebody or courting somebody face to face, but online dating, you have to take the person's word for it. Whatever they tell you, you have to accept it. You can't, if you're dating somebody face to face, or if you're in courtship with someone face to face, guys, when I say courtship, when I say dating, I mean the same thing, okay? So just bear with me. But when you're in courtship with somebody face to face, you're able to get your facts, do your homework about that person easier than if you're dating someone online and everything is virtual, because you have to take whatever they tell you as the truth until you get to the point where you're able to actually get your own facts for yourself. So for me personally, I'm not really for it, but I don't think it's a sin. I don't think that it cannot work. It can. You just have to be ready to do a whole lot more work when it comes to an online relationship. And just like a distance relationship, like I said before, at some point you have to meet the person, you have to really get to know the person, you have to go through the normal steps. You can't, online dating is not the same thing as seeing a person face to face, so you can't treat it the same way. I don't think you can treat it the same way. You have to take some extra steps to make sure that you have all the facts you need before you progress in that relationship. So that's my take on it. Again, please seek counsel. So somebody asks, people are always pushing me to start a relationship. They always tell me that I'm of age. Why am I not in a relationship? What age do you think is best for a person to begin a relationship? This is a very good question. I've always said, while age is important, but I've always said that I don't necessarily think it's about age. I think maturity is more important than age. The truth is, there are many people that are married today, 40s, 50s, and they're not mature for marriage. Because marriage requires so much. I always say that maturity is displayed in how well we handle responsibility, and we know that marriage comes with a lot of, a relationship even comes with a lot of responsibility. How will you handle responsibility? How will you handle your emotions? Because in marriage, our emotions are stretched. I always say that every emotion that you have will be tested in marriage. Everything about you is tested in marriage. You will be so stretched, and you have to still be able to have control over your emotions and not let your emotions control you. So how will you accept responsibility? How will you handle your emotions? And how will you handle people? People will annoy you. They will offend. In fact, in marriage, your spouse will annoy you. Your spouse will offend you. Hopefully, it's unintentional, but you are both separate human beings. So they may say something that may not be a big deal to them, but it offends you. It hurts you. So there are times that it will happen. How do you manage yourself? How do you manage them in those situations? So maturity, we display it in how well we accept responsibility, how well we handle our emotions, and how well we handle people. You find a lot of people that are married that these three areas, not there. So it's not necessarily, I'm this particular age, so I must be in a relationship. No, it's more of, am I mature enough for a relationship? And then, am I mature enough for marriage? Those are the things that you should ask yourself. And you can know how mature you are by the way you react to the people around you. Some people say, well, let me wait till I'm in a relationship, or let me wait till I'm married. No, you don't have to wait. How do your siblings, your family members, if you're in school, if you're at work, your colleagues, even with strangers, how do you comport yourself? How do you behave? Those are signs. We will see how mature you are in those different situations. So you don't have to wait until you're in a relationship before we know that you're mature. We don't have to wait until you're married before we know that you're mature. So don't necessarily focus on the age. There are teenagers that are so mature for their age. There are people in their 20s that are so mature for their age. So I think that should be the focus. I started my relationship I met my husband at 17. I started my relationship with him at 19. I've been with him ever since. There are some people that are 19 and they still have a lot of childish tendencies and a lot of childish traits. So don't focus on the fact that it's a particular age. And again, to answer your question, don't let anyone pressure you into jumping into a marriage or into a relationship rather. Don't let anyone pressure you into jumping into a relationship or jumping into a marriage. You know when you are ready. You know when you are set. You know when it's time for you to begin to interact with somebody emotionally. So don't feel as if because I'm a particular age, by this age, I must be in a relationship. Don't let anyone make you feel that way. Otherwise, you'll be putting unnecessary pressure on yourself and it will cause you to be anxious. Because if the age comes, you get to that age, maybe they say you should be in a relationship by 21. 21 comes, you're not in a relationship. You begin to get, even as 21 is getting closer, you start getting anxious. And anxiety wouldn't help you make a good, right decision concerning, most times when people are anxious, they make the wrong decisions concerning who to start a relationship with and concerning who to marry. So you have to make sure that you're at absolute peace. You keep working on yourself. You keep preparing yourself for marriage. You keep trusting that at the right time, God will send the right person your way. You know, he says that the desire of the righteous shall be granted. So you have to trust that you have placed that desire in his hands. So at the right time, as you're preparing yourself, making yourself fit for a relationship, making yourself fit for marriage, ultimately, that the right person will come your way. So don't get anxious about, is this the right time? Should I be in a relationship? Should I jump into a relationship? Like I said, age is critical, it's important, but it's more of your maturity level, because I've learned that the success of any relationship and any marriage ultimately is largely dependent on the maturity level of the people in it, okay? And like I always love to say, the quality of any relationship, the quality of any marriage is dependent on the people in the relationship, the people in the marriage. As always, please seek counsel. Okay, so I'm going to stop here with my questions for today. I hope at least you found it a bit helpful. I hope it gave you some clarity on some things. I hope it's giving you a bit of peace. And, you know, if not, please ensure that you get more counsel so that you can, like I said at the beginning, so that you can get the right answers, you can get the right direction so that you make the right decision concerning your future and concerning your life. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Until next time, take good care of yourself and God bless you. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.